Guys, you ready to roll?
Yep.
Questions you got?
When you're going against an Iowa team, it's always very physical. Is that again the trade-off for them? Is that a real concern, the physicality in particular?
I don't know that it's a concern, but without question, that's going to be their trademark, and I know they pride themselves on that, on playing great run defense and being able to run the ball. And so, once again, we're making our kids aware of that it's going to be a classic Big Ten brawl, and we're going to need our most physical game of the year on Saturday to beat this team.
I know that you're not likely to just stand up there and name a starter at quarterback, but is there something that that either one of them really needs to do to distance themselves and make sure that they get, that they're just the guy and then there's no more questions?
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be true with any position, and that's just plain consistent. And so, to us, between Cam and Nate, we're going to let them go compete every single week, every single practice, regardless of who plays well on Saturday. And that's going to be the same exact course we're going to take this week. But I think, if anything, just more consistent play, whether it be from the starting quarterback, the starting tailback, or the outside wide receivers. So that's true with any position. I think each week we'll take it practice by practice and day by day and just see how the week progresses and to decide who we're going to roll with.
Would you prefer to have just a clear-cut starter that this is the guy, or do you like this competition because it might
I don't mind the competition really at all, and I don't think the kids do either. And really it's pretty cool because I think if you ask the wide receivers, if you ask the running backs, to them it doesn't matter. And we've done such a good job of rotating those guys throughout the season that I'm not even sure that they know who's out there playing quarterback. I just think they're going out there and trying to make big plays. So, I think there are positives and negatives probably to each, but right now we're just rolling with it, and to us it's not a big deal.
Does the fact that Nate came in early this game, I guess, have any, significance at all in terms of where the things stand?
Not really. I think we would have liked to have seen Cam just settle down, just settle his feet. And again, it's almost like you go back to the Northwestern game. Sometimes as a quarterback, the game starts so fast that sometimes it's not bad just to come and take a deep breath and just watch it from the sidelines. And obviously every kid wants to go play and compete, but we're in a situation now, both those guys are so young that just to get them to settle down and play within themselves, sometimes that's the best thing we can do for them. And instead of looking at it like a punishment, it's more of, hey man, just catch your breath, settle down, go execute the offense.
What is it, another week where we see Nate kind of marshal a touchdown drive in the fourth quarter that, at least impacts kind of the end of the game? Does he have something different or special in late in the game, kind of when you need a drive like that?
Without comparing him to Cam, I don't know that he has anything more or different than Cam Kaufman does, but he certainly has shown the ability to march the team down the field and put points on the board. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing a quarterback can do. So very excited about that. We talked about this a lot with Trey earlier in the year, the quality of having it at quarterback. And I think Nate, at a very young age, is showing that he has some moxie about him, some savviness that he doesn't get rattled and can go through his reads and can manage the offense. So for a true freshman, that's been pretty impressive.
You talk about going through his reads. Was that the case on that last touchdown pass to Shane Wynn? You talked about that play.
Yeah, it sure was. Just a bootleg pass. And really lucky for us, a couple of Illinois defenders collided with each other, which allowed Shane to come through wide open. But yeah, I think for him, that's really probably the third in his progression. And for him to be able to come through and look at 1 and 2 and then find 3 for a touchdown, again, shows some moxie on his part.
Nate's ability to minimize the interceptions. How special is that already in one quarter?
I think it's critical at that position. Obviously we want to throw the ball to our guys. And I've said this from day one, really about Cam Kaufman and Nate Sudfeld. They're both very intelligent young men. And there hasn't been a whole lot that we have not been able to put on their plates this year from a mental standpoint. I think they're doing great. And really the ability to go into a Big Ten game on the road with people yelling at you and big old defensive linemen coming to kill you, and to be able to keep your composure, I think is a special quality. I think it's great that he demonstrated that to his teammates.
How encouraging is it that even Coach Wilson said you guys didn't have your best game on either side of the ball, and yet you still put 31 points on the board, you still you pick up drives when you need them all?
I think it's great. I think it's a testament to what our kids are doing. And, we talk a lot about just pounding the rock, about getting better every single day. I know Coach Wilson has said that a million times this year, and our kids are buying into it. And for us, to be honest with you, I'm not sure we've played a complete great game yet. And so from an offensive perspective, as young as we are, that to us is very encouraging, but it's also allowing us to stay hungry and just go continue to put that complete game together.
And kind of the offensive line, I mean, it's a young group, but even with the pace that you guys are running at, it seems that everybody is still developing and staying strong and not showing a lot of signs of fatigue.
I don't think so either, and we're so proud. A lot of times those offensive linemen go through unnoticed, and the job that Coach Greg Fry does with those guys, Ryan Stanchek, our graduate assistant, I think really has gone unnoticed, to be honest with you. We're one of the least sacked teams in the entire country right now, and credit to those guys. And even some of the sacks we have given up really been on the quarterback more than they have the offensive line. So very proud of what those kids are doing. A lot of good young players, like you mentioned. I think at the end of the year, just probably Will Matty, to my knowledge, is the guy we're going to lose, but a lot of those guys coming back for 3 or 4 more years. So hopefully that can turn into a position of strength.
It's maybe simplistic, but have you ever seen an offensive line that young kind of come together that quickly with so many freshmen?
That's hard for me to comment on, just in my limited experience in college football. But I certainly think that they're doing a tremendous job of coming together, like you mentioned, of the camaraderie and the gelling as a unit, and hopefully that's signs of things to come.
What is Iowa bringing to the field that you guys maybe haven't seen yet this year?
I don't know if it's anything more that we haven't seen. I think that they're going to bring a traditional Iowa defense, which means they're going to have strong, big, thick defensive linemen. They're going to make it extremely tough to run the football. You're going to see aggressive downhill linebackers, safeties who are involved in the run fits. They play great press man-to-man coverage. If you ask anyone in this conference about Iowa, they're going to say they run the football and they play great defense. And that's what we're going to see this week. That's that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks a lot. What's that?